Hello, this is Tomasz Amon from Ljubljana. As a part of the Tempus project, I record now the first instructional video on how to download and install Unity 3D package. We just find Unity 3D on the net. It is unity3d.com. For example, we can have a look. Unity 3D. And then we go to the download Unity. It starts to download here. I had already before a cancelled download, and now it is downloading. It will last about 40 minutes here, so let's make a short pause. Now the Unity has downloaded. This is the exe file. We just start it. Run the installation. So, and just agree and next and install. It is now removing my old installation because I have already here a Unity installed. After about 5 minutes of installation, the Unity is installed now. We see here it is the icon of Unity, and we just click finish and run. So this is already, Unity also starts so that it opens the last scene you used before. I was just working before on the receptor of the rod receptor cells in the human eye. This is that visualization, just to see how it looks. But now we shall open a completely new scene and have a look how we start when we start from the very beginning without knowing anything about Unity. At first, as I said, we go to File, New Scene. Then we can, already we have here the main camera. If we click on this camera, then we see camera preview here, and because there is no objects on the scene, we don't see anything. So we create a game object, for example, a sphere, or maybe, yes, okay, let's be a cube, so it's maybe a little, the cube is here. You can move it around. Now it is in the move mode. If you click the button F, then you frame, so you see, and with Alt clicking you rotate around to see how it looks like. If you want to see this cube with the camera, you just click on the main camera and you see the cube already here as a gray square because it is not illuminated in the right way. Therefore, we need to give another object to the scene. This will be a directional light. Here, directional light. And I always do so that I parent directional light to the main camera. But first, let us check the position where it is. The main camera. Here on the right, we check the transform table, and we see that the position x is 0, y is 1, and z is minus 10, and so on. Rotation is 0, and scale is 1, 1, 1. Now we shall put the directional light to the same place. This should be 0. This is 1. The y-axis is 1. And the z-axis was minus 10. Rotation is 0, and the scale can be left 1. The directional light is now together with the camera. If we frame on the camera by clicking the F button on the keyboard, then we see that the camera and the directional light are together. Now we can click on directional light either on the scene or here on its name. Now it looks in the same direction as camera as we just said with its rotation. Sometimes it is good that it does not point in such straightforward way, but a little from the up and then to the down. We do this by rotating it so that we hit the rotate button and we can rotate, and you see that also the cube is changing the shape. And that's it. We can play now by clicking the play button to see how it appears in the scene. This is our illuminated cube. So that's not very much. Let us, for example, bring camera a little nearer. I just clicked on the camera, on the name, for example, and we can change its name now by double clicking here. So, and we, for example, camera 1, just to see how it is. And it is practical before we move it that we parent the directional light to the camera. Just drag it on the camera, and now we have together camera and the directional light. So when I move the camera, then at the same time the directional light is moving too. We go back to the moving, and we can approach the camera and the light to the cube. You see here on the right what we see through the camera, and in the main window we can set a position that we like. This is a front. Let us, for example, go a little to the left, and then to rotate camera a little. So, and instead of moving, we can also change the field of view. This is our camera, and the field of view can be changed here with this slider. Now it is more teleobjective mode, and in this way it is more wide angle mode. So something like this. We can save the scene now. File save scene as. It is in our project. How to make a project I shall explain later. And let's say as test 1 Unity save. So that's it. Let us see now how to set up a new project with Unity. In fact, it is very simple. We just go somewhere where we want to have, for example, in the folder of our project EMICVL, and we just make here a new folder, a new empty folder, and let's say one folder, for example, or test1. Test1. So now we can close this and open Unity. It will open the last scene we worked. As you remember, we modeled a cube before, and now we show, and this was in that project of my receptor cells of the eye, but now we open a completely new project dedicated to our work. We go to new project, find our folder. It is here computer, our project, and this is our empty folder. So that's it. Select folder. So Unity offers now a lot of pre-prepared scripts if we want something, but don't worry, you can work with all of this, so just click create without selecting any scripts. It will be all fine. We have a completely empty scene as before. Now we close this window. We shall explain in a later video. We have again the main camera, and we can model some objects. For example, let us first make that light. It is always good that we make at first a directional light, which is then best to be put on the same place as camera. This means that we look on the camera position, it is 1 and y is 1 and z is -10. Just put it there. This is 1 and z is -10. I clicked on the light icon and you see it is already here. And rotation can be left like this. The next thing what is nice to do is to put the directional light as a child of the main camera, so that when we move the camera, the light goes with the camera. We create an object so that we can see something on the scene. Let's create a capsule now and have a look how this looks through the camera. So that we click on the camera, the capsule is here rather small. We can move with the blue arrow is always the one which moves toward or away from the center in the praxis. We can also put a little down the camera, and now it's already much nicer. Now we have a single object and camera. We can also see on the game window how it looks like. It is not very impressive, but we can try to export this, for example, to look to it as an independent application, as an exe file on the PC, or as a file on Macintosh. So now first best it is go back to the scene window, or to stop here the playing, and save this scene, save scene as. It is in our new project in the folder assets, and we can call it as capsule 1, for example, and save. Now we shall export this file as a web player package for Windows, or in fact it is not for Windows, it is for any platform. For this reason we go to File, and then we select Build Settings, and now we have Build Settings. The first thing is to add scenes in build. We click the Add Current scene, this is Capsule 1 Unity. If we have several scenes, then we put them here and arrange them in the order as they would appear when one clicks the next button, for example. We shall choose here the web player so that we can immediately publish on the web, and we also choose the offline deployment so that we have now everything on our local disk, and we can expect this, and development build because we are developing the application now. Let us look at the player settings. They are quite simple with the web player. Here comes the company name, this is my company Amnim, and then it is the name of our application. It is the default icon that in fact here it is not, we can choose here or another one, but I think we don't need it in web player at all. With resolution and presentation we can leave the default value. With icon there is not applicable, this is what I wanted to say before. Splash image is also not applicable here, and other settings we can leave as they are by default. So we just click build, and we have to establish here a new folder. I have, for example, here the suggestion capsule web folder, so I make a new folder, capsule web, and select it, select this one. So select capsule, yes, select folder. Now the application has been built. We open the capsule web folder, and we click on the only one HTML file here, capsule web HTML, and it opens in the web browser. We just allow it to run, and here it is, our capsule. This Unity sign, this is because this is the free version of Unity. If one has the commercial version of Unity, this does not appear. So that was it.